So these are just some tips for submitting a grant in Amplifund, some suggestions, ways to go about it. So steps to submit, get access to Amplifund. This happens from your home entity. I do not have the ability to grant access or change passwords or do any of that. You will need to speak to someone at your institution who has access to the GATA portal, and then they can grant you access to Amplifund. And they can grant you access either to everything in Amplifund or only the IBT section of Amplifund. But when you send an email to me that says, hey, can you give me access? My answer is going to be no. This happens internally on your end. So that's usually in the finance or accounting area. Maybe if you have a grants submission office, they might be the ones that do it. But I would start in those two areas first and then go from there. You're going to use the link then within the NOFO. Emma put it in the chat earlier. It was in the slide deck, and it's right here. You're going to click on apply. This is a screenshot from last year, so I apologize. It says FY25. This year says FY26, Innovative Bridge and Transitions Grant, and you're going to click on the apply button right there in the corner. And then from there, you're going to click on public account and enter the credentials provided by your home entity. So there's a couple of different options. Like I click on employee account because I'm set up differently in Amplifund than you are because I'm part of a grantor instead of a grantee. But you will click on public account and then plug in what they give you once you're all set up. And then from here, you should land, once you're in, you should land on a page with green targets. Looks like this across the top. The first page should be the opportunity details page over here. And you'll just click into each one of these. You'll go through, you'll click down the list, you'll open it. Like you can see that this is in progress. It won't let you finish this out and complete this until you've got all of this listed as complete. At the bottom of each target area are 3 green buttons. There's a save, mark as complete, or save and continue. So each section has to be marked as complete in order to get the green check mark at the top up here. So these have some work done in them, but they're not marked as complete. And you can go in, work on a page, save, continue. If you do just save, you're just saving it. If you're doing save and continue, it moves you to the next section. So your information is still saved. You can still go into the next section. You can come back to it, but you cannot, it will not get you a check mark at the top until you have mark as complete in each section. And in the forms section, you'll have to click into each form. Was that the details here? So like I just mentioned, this is a screenshot of a different grant. This looks like a Perkins grant, but on the IBT, you'll have the application cover page. You'll have the narrative. You'll have, why am I blanking on all of this? The uniform budget. You'll have programmatic risk assessment. There's several pieces. You'll have to open each one, download it, upload it, save. It will not let you mark as complete unless you have a document uploaded. But as I stated previously, it does not care what that document is. So it could be the wrong document. It could be the wrong version of the document. It could be a blank document. As long as you have a document, Amplifund says, you're good, move on. So make sure that you've got the right pieces uploaded when you do those. But you'll have to go into each form piece and make sure those are each done. Again, the document will need to be downloaded, completed, and uploaded. Doesn't check for the accuracy. That's your responsibility. A few more steps. All of the bullets at the top must have a green check mark before you can submit. So if there's a check mark missing, click on that bullet, review the information, and then you have to mark it as complete. I've had programs email me in the past and say, I've got everything in, but it won't let me submit. They were missing a check mark. Again, that question goes on the FAQ. Go in and check and make sure you've got a green check mark at the top of each section, and you get that by marking it as complete at the bottom. So You can go in and do everything and do mark as complete and you're done. You can save it. You can come back later. You can save and continue and move on. However, but remember that each section needs to have a mark as complete in order to get the green check mark. There's one target in the process called a plan performance plan. That sounds kind of strange. There is nothing to do in that section. There's a note in that section that says there's nothing you need to do. It's a required step in Amplifund. I cannot remove it. Do not panic. There's really nothing to do in that section when you click on that screen and it says there's nothing to do. Mark this as complete and move on. It really means mark it as complete and move on. I could not remove it from Amplifund. It's part of their process. So you have to have that. Amplifund is great about giving red dialog boxes for errors or green boxes for success. So if you plug something in and it doesn't like it, it'll throw up a red box that says something is wrong. This is what's wrong. Check this number. Your dollars don't match, whatever. Or it'll give you a green box that says success. You have marked this as complete. We're moving you to the next section or something along those lines. They do really well with giving you those reds and greens so you have an idea as what it is. The final green target is submit. Once you hit submit, you cannot make any changes. I cannot unsubmit, reject, reopen your application at that point. When you hit submit, you're done. Last year we had programs that emailed me and said, oh my God, I just hit submit and I totally forgot to upload the signed budget page. I can't do anything with that. What that means on the scoring side is that you're going to lose 1 point for a signed signature. But it's 1 point. If you've done a good job on everything else, it's not a deal breaker. It's 1 point. We'll get it from you later. We can get you the sign. We'll figure those pieces out if you're awarded. But if you don't have it, I can't change it. I can't, like I said, I can't reopen. I can't reject it. It is what it is. So before you hit submit, make sure that you've got all of your check marks, everything is uploaded, you've got your right documents, you have your right documents in the right places, that everything is good, and then you can hit submit. Please do not wait until 2:55 on October 3rd to hit submit. If you have any sort of technical issues, I also cannot help you. I cannot do an extension. I cannot give you another 5 minutes. I cannot stress that enough. Do not wait until 2:55 to hit submission. Please. Please, please, please. Please. Other information. Again, the application is due on October 3rd, 2025 at 3 p.m. This is not flexible. There is no extension. It will not accept an application at 3:01. Do not wait. I just said this until 2:45 in case you have problems. I cannot accept anything outside of Amplifund. Do not email me at 2:59 with your application. It will not be scored and not funded. I will send it back to you and say this must be done in Amplifund and you are now too late. Not a fun email to send or receive, but an obligated email I have to send if that's the case. So, and the other thing is there is Amplifund support if you need, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Amplifund does not send receipt notifications. So ICCB staff will send an email. It could be Emma, could be me, one of us, by the end of day on Tuesday, October 7th, if your application was received. If you submit early, you will potentially be notified earlier than that. So if you submit on October 1st, it's possible. We get notifications when applications are submitted. So we can go in and see, okay, yes, this program submitted their application. I can send them an email that says, I have your application. That's not a guarantee of award. That is simply that we received your application. Now, if you wait till the end, because October 3rd is a Friday, we didn't want to try to get everything out in these 2 hours on that Friday afternoon. So we gave ourselves the 2 days of Monday and Tuesday to go in, get downloaded, find right information, send it out correctly, and get it all done. So it may be, you may hear on the 6th, it may be the 7th, but we will send you an email that says we received your application. If you do not hear from us, if you believe you submitted and you do not hear from us by October 8th, I would send an email. I don't know what we can do at that point if it's still in the unsubmitted version, but we can check and make sure there's not something glitching somewhere. But please, I can't, don't wait to the last minute and make sure it's submitted. On each screen in Amplifund, there is a small letter I in the top right-hand corner. When you click on that, you can send an email to the Amplifund help desk directly. So if you're in Amplifund and you can't get the check mark to show up, or you can't mark as complete for some reason and you don't know what's going on, you can click on that I. If you email me, I'm going to tell you to go into Amplifund and click on the I. So save yourself the email to me and click on the I and send them an email that says, this is who I am, this is what I'm applying for, this is what I'm seeing, what am I missing? What step am I missing? And they are pretty good about responding. I mean, as a grantor, I've even heard from grantees that you may hear back from them right away, but usually it's within a couple of hours, you will hear something back from them. So again, don't wait until 2:45 to submit, because you probably will not hear back in 15 minutes from them on how to get it fixed, resolved, and submit on time. But there is an I on the top of every Amplifund screen. So at any point in the process, you're like, why isn't this working? You can send them an email directly and they will help you with that. If you have questions about the grant specifically, you can email those questions to this email, and that question will be added to the FAQ on the ICCB website here. We did, I don't know if you all are aware or not, we released a new website in early July. So it looks different. If you just go to the iccb.org website, you're going to go to the top that lists grants, and then you're going to click on grant opportunities. And as grants are released, they are listed at the top. So right now, I was just on the page on our little break, and the IBT grant is the third one down. So you'll have to look for the FY26 Innovative Bridge and Transitions grant section. But within that section is where the FAQ will be, these recordings, these slide decks, everything will be within that section on the website. If you have questions or problems with Amplifund, like I said, send those questions to the help desk. Emma and I do not see the same screens that you do on your side as a grantee or as an applicant. So I can't really help troubleshoot. I mean, we can try to do a screen share, like a Zoom or something, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to help you because I don't see the same things and I don't process things the same way on my side that you do. There's the Zendesk specifically, you can click on this link, it'll take you there. Amplifund has many resources that can be accessed by grantees to help with application process as well. So they are helpful. They will answer your questions. You just have to ask them. And again, asking me, I'm not really going to be helpful. I can't get into Amplifund and just work on the back end because I don't have that access. I don't have that power. I don't want that access or that power. So really you're safest to just go straight to that help desk and that little I in the corner. Budget information in Amplifund. We talked about this a little bit on the previous recording. There are two formats of budgets in Amplifund that are required. You have to do both pieces. One is the Excel template. We've used it forever with IBT. We've used it with all kinds of grants from ICCB. It's the same template. It's the state formatted template. You need to include all of the detail on how money is allocated in each line, provide a budget narrative at the bottom of each tab. This is the form that you will download, you'll complete it, you'll fill it all in, you'll get signatures, you'll have everybody on your team look at it and check it, then you'll upload it back into Amplifund. And this particular template is located in the forms section of the application. My goal, and I think it worked, was to put this form directly, we did the forms section right before the budget template in Amplifund, the Amplifund budget, and the budget form is the last form on the list. So you'll do your Excel form, and then it should move you into your Amplifund budget. For your Amplifund budget, you need to list just the general overall dollar amount per, I say per line, per category. So your personnel category, your fringe category, your supplies category. We do not want this broken out. It becomes a nightmare later when we're doing budget modifications. And so please just list a general, and I've got an example. On the Excel budget template, you'd have $20,000 in personnel. On the Excel form that you're going to download, you're going to complete, you're going to upload back in, you would list Janelle is getting 8,000, Angela's getting 8,000, Rupa's getting 4,000 at the top. At the bottom, you would list Janelle, and Janelle is the executive director and is receiving this amount of money, whatever. Angela is the grant coordinator and she's receiving this amount of money because of this. Rupa is instructing 2 classes and she's getting this amount of money because of this. So all of those details that you typically would put in a budget still go in the budget, but they go in the Excel template of the budget. In Amplifund, you're going to have one line and it's going to say personnel or personnel total. And that personnel is $20,000. Do not break it out by people. If you break it out by people, if you are allocated, before we can approve everything, we will come back to you and say, we need you to condense all of this into one line that says personnel on the Amplifund budget piece. And please, please, please make these 2 budgets match as closely as you can. I've heard rumors that one rounds, one doesn't, one allows cents, one doesn't. If you're off by a couple of dollars here or there, we can deal with that. If you're off by $10,000, that is a bigger problem. Please don't be off by $10,000 because that causes lots of different issues. So please make sure your numbers match. Again, Amplifund does not check for the completeness and accuracy of anything that you upload. You have to make sure that you have the correct version of the budget. You have to make sure it's signed, that you've included. Some programs will send the Excel and they send the signed document separately. You have to make sure you get both of those pieces uploaded. You can upload as many pieces as you want. I don't have a limit set on how many you have to upload. You have to upload at least one. So programs upload both the budget and then the signature page. That's okay. But you have to make sure that all of those parts and pieces are in there and are correct and are complete. That is not something that Amplifund checks. All right. That's all I got. Are there any last questions? You can put them in the chat or you can unmute and ask me. I may tell you I can't answer it because it's a competitive grant and I have to put it in an FAQ, but hopefully this answers your questions. You get 12 minutes back in your day. Congratulations. Right before lunch. Like I said, these will all be, all of the recordings from today, the PowerPoints from today will all go on the website. Hopefully by early next week, we know you guys want access to them and you need them for various resources and other people. So we'll try to get them up there as quickly as we can. So there you go. Thank you very much.